Welcome into Fire Field Vision, powered by NovaCare. Kevin Egan has gone and deserted us this weekend to get married, so stepping in for him, I'm Dan Kelly, joined by Fire assistant coach Clint Mathis. And Clint, first off, reflecting back on that match on the road versus Montreal, a wild roller coaster affair. One positive is the attack and scoring 3 goals away from home.
No, for sure. That result was definitely disappointing. But like you said, the positive we did have was being able to get 3 goals on the road. But at the same token, it's tough when you're giving up 4 goals to be able to come away with any points. And we're unfortunate that I thought that we played really well coming out of the gates. Gave up an early goal, but we bounced right back from it. And I thought the guys did a great job in the attack to be able to do that. But just wasn't able to hold the reins on Drogba and, give him credit. He scored 3 good goals, and, we just got to do a better job defensively.
No one knows better about what confidence does for a striker, and we're starting to see Kennedy Igboananike have a lot of confidence. How has that changed his game?
No, I mean, he's definitely making, I think, sharper runs. He's got a great work ethic, whether he has the ball or doesn't have the ball defensively, he helps us out a lot. But that confidence, gives you that, I guess, that extra little bit of energy to make those harder runs, to get in good spots, and his finishing has been great, as well as setting up Gilberto's goal. I think was a great setup by Kennedy.
Yeah, speak of the Devils, Gilberto gets his first goal with the men in red. What do you see Gilberto's role being with this club?
No, and I think that Gilberto's starting to come in, to the team a little bit, getting a little bit fitter. He still needs to, get a little more of that game fitness to be able to play 90 minutes. But he's a strong player, a target role type of player. He's got good feet, can pass the ball well, and can strike the ball well. I think you saw in that goal that he scored. He made a great run in the box, which I don't think that you saw that as much in the early games that he's played. But he's starting to come in and understand and get that, that cohesiveness with Kennedy, and it showed in that goal.
Your team showed a couple weeks ago in one of their best performances of the season, a big home win versus the New York Red Bulls, now trying to do it away from home. What did you succeed doing against New York that night?
I think that we came out from the first whistle and dictated the pace of the game. We kept the ball well, and we finished our chances as well. So that's I think a big change than what you've seen, maybe earlier in the season where we were creating a lot of these chances, but not finishing them off early, and was able to keep teams in the game, and then we were unfortunately giving up some goals at the end that we shouldn't have. But I think in that game against Red Bulls, you can say that their PK wasn't there, the corner kick shouldn't have happened, but the guys did an excellent job of putting that aside, even though they could have put their heads down and gave up, and kept playing. And that's what you got to do in this league, whether the calls are right or the calls are wrong. You just got to continue to play, and I think that we showed through that adversity that we are a good team. We can finish games off, and we did a great job against, at that time, was probably the best team in the league.
As always, Clint, thanks for the time. Good luck.
Thank you for having me.
Fire Field Vision continues with our Ghanaian friend, Patrick Nyako, who has had a seamless transition back from injury. And Patrick, we look back at video from the most recent road contest against Montreal, doing a lot of good things yourself with Kennedy Igboananike. First off, why is that partnership work out so well?
I mean, it's just a good run of games that we've had. Always consistency helps. I wasn't in preseason. I was in the first part of the season, so starting to learn, his movements and, what he likes to do and what makes him successful. And all my career, that's what I pride myself in, to help, forwards be successful, make it easier for them. And so he's doing all the work. I just putting him in position.
Yeah, you certainly put him in position, and we go to the video board and look at some of the recent video from that road loss against Montreal. And here, when did you spot Kennedy Igboananike? When did you pick up the head and decide?
I think it was a split second when I touched the ball. I knew he had moved out wide right there. It was a split. You really cannot tell because it seems like my head was always on the ball, but I had spotted him way back and knew where he was going to move into space. So my job was to not play the ball perfectly so he's not offsides and can kickstart our attack.
The initial cut, though, that was to try to drag some defenders with you?
Absolutely. It's since, especially this year and last year, I've tried to add that to my game to play more inside and try to drag defenders and get my outside back and the forwards in space on the flanks.
So 35th minute against Montreal, more creativity from yourself, setting up Harry Shipp. And we look at the play into the penalty area, and First off, this pass has to be pretty perfect to Harry, and if it's not Harry Shipp in the penalty area, maybe you don't try that pass?
Absolutely. You know, I know Harry's tendencies and, you know, what great first touch he has. And so I first look, I cut, I see the space in there, and I hit it to him. I know he can take the first touch into space and strike it. He's a great finisher. So I first look at the space and know where exactly he's going to take the touch to. And so I just needed to lift it up to him. He did great with the ball, and, you know, he used it body well and to our advantage.
Take off the homer hat. You think that was a 100% penalty call?
100%, yeah. Probably second yellow for the kid, and he would have been off because he already had a yellow card.
In that sequence also, we saw a lot of cuts in turns. Are you 100%? Because it certainly looked like you were awful close there.
Getting there. I think, I can stop on the dime sometimes. I've really not felt I've done it, like right on the sharp cut. So getting there close, probably 90%. But yeah, I felt really good in the last game.
Your defensive work, obviously you have the pace, you have the experience. When you're in your defensive third, what is your role? What are you thinking?
I definitely try to pick up the most dangerous guy who has not been picked up. And in this instance, it was Piatti right there. You know, he's one of the best players in the league. And, I figured if he's wide open, he's going to do damage. And so I read the play really quick and try to get close to him as possible. And, I pride myself defensively. I might not be the greatest defender, but I want to always be there to shield my right back, to shield my left back, to shield, the back four, and try to do my best possible I can to help him out defensively.
Patrick, you're always willing to help out. Thanks so much for the insight.
Thanks, guys.
Patrick Nyako and the Chicago Fire, they take it on the road this Friday against the New York Red Bulls, 6 p.m. kick on Unimas.